Hey guys, welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions video. Recently, someone asked me, when I open a new champ, I hear, on the global chat, or I've heard in videos, X champion is really, really good, but then they research the champion and they're like, oh well, that's no good. I just pulled, I don't know, Omega Red, and all I hear are these great things. Omega Red is great. Omega Red's great. Fantastic. I'm gonna rank them up. So they rank them up. And then they do a bit more research and think, well, Omega Red's, not that great at all if he's not awakened and he's not SIG 200. And there's a lot of champions like that in the game. I don't know, Cap Infinity War would be another good example. He's a decent champ, I suppose, but he doesn't really come into his own until he's awakened and as high SIG as you possibly can get him, which ideally is SIG 200. So what I wanted to do is make a tier list of champions that are amazing right out of the gate. Now, some of the champions on this list, or I should say some of the champions missing from my list, that you think need to be awakened, without the awakening, they might still be good enough to be on a top 10 list or top 15 or whatever list. Maybe so. But I want to just talk about champs that are amazing, in my opinion, straight out the gate. So hopefully this will, help some of you make some easy rank up decisions if you're newer to the game, or maybe you just haven't heard of some of these champions or whatever before. But again, don't just take my word for it. Research the champions before you decide to rank them up. See how they work. Because the worst thing you can do, and I've done it before, is get all this hype about a champion for ages or years or whatever. You get them. You just rank them up and you think, I don't really like using that champion. So make sure that you know how to use them. Make sure you like to use them. And by all means, if you like the champion, that's what matters more than anything else. So, if you like using Thor Jane Foster, then by all means, rank her up as high as you want to rank her up. So with all that said, this is going to be my Mystic top 10 champs to rank up Unawakened. So, number 10 is going to be Sasquatch. Sasquatch, in my opinion, is really, really good. I've got him as a 7-star champ. He's got an absolutely massive health pool. I think it might be the biggest health pool in the game. If it's not, it's one of the top ones. So he can absolutely take a massive beating. He's got a couple of decent synergies. If you can awaken him, it makes him slightly better, but not massively. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possibly as sweet, guys, so it doesn't take up a lot of time. Number 9, I'm going to put Sim Supreme. Now, Sim Supreme used to be one of the top 2 or 3 maybe Mystics back in the day, but he's kind of dropped off the face of the earth a bit now. If you want to rank in, all the champs that need awakening. But without the awakening, he is still really, really good. My opinion is if they'll bleed, then just do the special 3, and then away it goes. Then he just bleeds everyone to death really, really quick. Number 8 is going to be, where is she? Sorcerer Supreme. Sorcerer Supreme, again, used to be a top 2 or 3 champ. But as more and more newer champions have come in, she's kind of dropped down the list a bit. But again, amazing champ right out of the gate. Number 7, this one's maybe a bit controversial because you do need the Summoner Sigil. So those of you that don't know, you can pay a monthly fee and you can get the Summoner Sigil, which gives you gold units, cheaper things to buy in the Sigil store, things like that. If you have that so many months or whatever, you can get Scarlet Witch Sigil, which is hands, miles better than the regular Scarlet Witch, in my opinion, nowadays. So check her out if you happen to have the Sigil. Number 6, this one's maybe a little bit iffy because this guy can really help, can really benefit with being awakened. But in my opinion, I had him unawakened for ages. I took him up to rank 3. And I definitely wouldn't hesitate to take him to rank 4, probably even unawakened, but awakened, or with Mystic Dispersion, Diablo or Diablord, as I like to call him, is absolutely fantastic. Do not sleep on Diablo. He is amazing. So, Unawakened, amazing. With Mystic Dispersion, even better. Or Unawakened, or should say, the best thing you can do is awaken him, run him with Mystic Dispersion, and even run him with the little ouchie masteries, as we like to call them. I don't want to say what some people like to call them because you probably get demonetized visually. But, with recoil masteries and things like that, he can benefit from those as well. So, but he can also just straight out the gate be an amazing champ. So again, if you're sleeping on him, don't. Number 5. Where is he? Dragon Man. Now, Dragon Man might not be, in your opinion, an absolutely fantastic champion, but he has some things that I don't think any other Mystic champion does. He's a robot, so he's bleed and poison immune. So that makes him have a lot of really great things going for him that any other champion in his class they just don't have. So plus, if you can get him in the corner and just absolutely beast him with what's it called? Is it cornered or whatever it is? If you can get the other champ, the defender, in the corner, you can just go hand and just absolutely annihilate whoever you're fighting. Plus, he's still, for really low Alliance Wars, he can be a decent defender. He can be a little bit tricky, so don't sleep on him. Number 4, where is he? I'm going to put Longshot, number 4. Longshot was decent when he came out. Everyone got amazed by his special 2 and how quickly he can just nuke champs down. But after that, he kind of just dropped off the face of the earth. But since Battlegrounds has come out, he's had a massive resurgence, in my opinion, because just how fast he can just nuke champs, just wipe them out with one special 2. So if you don't know much about Longshot, then do a bit of research on him. If you happen to pull him and you think, I'm not so sure, then just check him out. Number 3 is going to be probably my favorite Mystic champion. I know they're not the best, but probably my favorite, and it's Black Widow Clairvoyant. I pulled Black Widow Clairvoyant when she first came out, and this is one champ in the game that I think her Siggy ability is absolutely useless. It pretty much does nothing. It heals a tiny little bit occasionally. So when receiving damage that would knock her out, Death Touch is removed instead, and Claire gains a death immunity buff, preventing death and healing from 5 to 25% of her max health over 4 seconds. So if you just have her awaken, she's going to heal 5% of her health. Wow, that's so helpful. So anyway, if you pull Black Widow Clairvoyant, definitely don't have any hesitation ranking her up. So there's only 2 more left, guys, that you probably think it's going to be. We've got Doom and Rentra. So I'm going to have to put the Bull in number 2. Rentra came out about a year ago, and he is absolutely fantastic, guys. He can absolutely nuke champs down. He's pretty much got, one of the strongest attacks in the game, in my opinion. And he doesn't really need that sig ability. He doesn't need to be awakened. So definite one to rank up. And like I said, the last one, of course, is going to be Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom does, it does help him to be awakened, I suppose, but not really at all, in my opinion. He does everything he needs to do without it. In my opinion, he's like one of the very first, probably the first broken champ in the game, and probably one of the top 5 champs still, probably easily in the game total, and he does not need to be awakened. So he's amazing in every single mode in the game, in my opinion, still. Battlegrounds, attacker, he's fantastic. He can nuke champs down still. As a defender, he can still be tricky in Alliance War as a defender. If you're fighting him in, a quest, super tricky still. So, my opinion, any of these champs, I would definitely not hesitate to take any of them up, probably to at least 6-star rank 3 Unawakened. And some of them I would take even higher, probably. Like Dr. Doom, I would even take him to rank 4, or maybe even take him to rank 5 Unawakened. So it's up to you guys whether you want to rank these champs up, of course. But this is just my top 10. Of course, you could have had a lot of champs if this was a, if you could awaken them or unawaken them. You could have Tigra, Magic, Absorbing Manhood, Mojo, Wicked, Juggernaut. All those guys benefit greatly from their awakened ability, in my opinion. So not really on my list. But if you can get those guys awakened, then definitely think about ranking those guys up as well. All right, guys, I'll be coming out with every different class in the next few days. So if you've enjoyed this one, make sure you like this video. Leave a comment whether you liked it or not, what you would change, who you would change, and make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button, sort out all your notifications so you don't miss the next one. All right, thanks a lot. Take care.